I have to share something with you that happened just literally about an hour ago. There was a groundhog that successfully crossed the avenue that I live on, and I was real happy about it. And I was filming another video, and then I found out, and I looked, and the groundhog had apparently tried to cross again, and unfortunately got killed. So you can imagine that on the 16th of August, 2026, that's pretty upsetting to me. I love people and I love animals. So yeah, it's hurting. It's hurting a lot. People can say that's a weakness, but it's not. And it's a groundhog. Big deal, right? It's an animal that God created, number one. And who are we to say that we are any better? You know, I don't know if the person did it on purpose because I didn't see. But I do know that people speed like crazy in our neighborhood. And yeah, it bothers me. I'm not going to apologize for it. So what did I do? Well, it was pretty much in the middle of the road. I got out of my vehicle, stopped the video. I don't even know if I stopped it. I might have just hurried up and put it in my pocket. But either way. And I did my best, and Annette did her best to lift it up and get it off of the street so that it didn't get crushed and all that other stuff. And we couldn't lift it up even though we tried. It was pretty heavy, believe it or not. Or awkward, I would say. But there was an Amazon driver was able to get it up on the curb, and so the animal may be dead, but it's not going to be crushed any worse unless somebody's ignorant enough to put it back on the street. But I felt like we need to be stewards of life. And even when somebody dies or an animal dies, we shouldn't be callous. We shouldn't say it's just an animal. You know, I don't like vegetables enough. I wish I did. I would love to be a vegan. I would love to be a vegetarian. Of course, if I was a vegan or a vegetarian, I would make sure I get the appropriate nutrients, vitamins, proteins, what have you. But I got to be honest with you. I would love to be a vegan or a vegetarian. I'm going to work on that. I don't like to see any animal dead. I just don't. And when we really think about it, the way our food is prepared, if we really knew how our food is prepared, how that fur coat gets made, what they do to the animals. And for the people who believe in a God and believe in that we have dominion over all animals and creatures, I'm not saying that that's not true. You know, if God said it's true, it's true. I will say this. We may have dominion, but we need to be good stewards. We shouldn't think that it's perfectly fine if an animal dies. That animal had a right to life just as much as you do. So yeah, I'm on my soapbox right now because I'm upset. And I don't mind sharing with you, I'm extremely upset. It reminds me of what happened to my dad, how he was basically run down and killed in 1976 by a drunk driver. So yeah, it's traumatic, it's upsetting, but I'm going to keep moving on. I'm going to keep loving people when they do right or wrong. I'm going to still love them. Still love animals, but when an animal gets killed, I'm going to pay my respects because I love people and I love animals. And there's not a person on the planet Earth that's ever going to get me to back down and change my mind on that. And yeah, you can text me at 412-559-2731 if you don't agree, or if you do. This is Albert Torcaso, the Encouraging Helper. And I encourage you to start loving animals and realizing that we may have dominion if God says so, but that doesn't mean we abuse and murder them. And yeah, I'll use that word. If you're doing it on purpose, and I don't know if this person did, I'm not going to say they did, I'm not going to say they didn't, but I have seen people deliberately run down animals. Yes, I have witnessed it in my life. Sad, sickening, but true.